Hi, Nicole. We are live on Facebook right now.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, I did it. Now I need to learn to do a couple more sharing with. Okay. So hello, parents. Yeah, drop a comment if you're with us this morning. And welcome you to share with your friends about the talk that we are having today, conducted by teacher Nicole. She's going to share about mental health with teens, some tips on how to, cope with them, manage them as they're growing. How are you feeling today, everybody? Okay. Okay, I can't see the comments, so I must try to get to the comments page first.
I'm also trying to get to the page so that I can see what others write. Yeah.
Okay, I'll make you
Okay.
host first so that you'll be ready to share your slides anytime you're ready.
Okay, can.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, parents, if you have not had your breakfast, please go and grab your coffee, your breakfast, and just enjoy a Kopi session with us. Okay, it is a very casual session. Don't have to worry. We can't see you too, so you can be just yourself. Wow, beautiful slide. I feel so cool and calm.
It's so cool and calm.
You chose the right colors.
Yeah. Oh my God, I still cannot see the comments for some reason. Only a few comments. I can't see the rest really. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Oh, okay, finally. I think that's like, okay, now I see everybody's comment already.
Okay. Okay.
It's working.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, everybody. Okay, so today our topic, right, is on teenage mental health. Okay. As you know, right, sometimes I know a lot of parents, right? You see that your kids, okay, feel like have like frequent emotional outbursts. Okay. And then sometimes parents find it like a bit confused. Okay, because you can't actually differentiate. Okay, actually you can't differentiate the mood swings, okay, that the kid is actually experiencing during puberty. You can't actually differentiate those, okay, with like real mental issues. Okay, whether it's a normal thing, okay, or whether it's a sign of something even more serious. Okay, so a lot of parents can't really differentiate. Okay, but you have to understand that nowadays, right, mental illness is actually getting more and more common than you think. Yeah, especially in teens. Okay, sometimes we in the past we may think, oh, this kind of thing happen to adults only. Okay, very stressed, like those like working adults, okay, who are very stressed. Okay, we used to think that way. But nowadays, right, it's becoming more and more common among teens. Okay, so today, right, we are just going to examine, right, some of the warning signs, okay, of mental illness that parents, okay, should be aware of. Okay. Oops.
Yes, I would like to
Okay,
know.
you like to know.
Yeah, I have a teen at
Okay.
home.
Yeah. Okay. So teenagers, right, they actually undergo multiple changes, okay, at this phase. So they went through like physical, emotional, social changes, okay, which actually make them very vulnerable to mental illnesses. Okay, so today we are going to look at some of the risk factors as well. Okay, the second point, the risk factors that can potentially lead to these problems. In fact, okay, multiple risk factors, right, will actually determine the mental health outcomes. Okay, so the more risk factor that your child is exposed to, okay, the greater the impact, okay, on their mental health. Okay, so we are also going to look at some of the ways, right, that we can prevent and also detect early symptoms of mental illnesses. Okay, keep the comments coming. Okay, otherwise I feel like I'm just like a one-way communication.
Don't worry, you continue your talk. I will
Okay,
manage
let's
the
keep it
chat for
like
you.
two-way.
Yeah.
Okay. please also like give your comments, okay, so that it becomes a two-way copy talk, not just a one way. Just like providing
I'll
information and
manage
then
the.
there's nothing from the other end.
I
Okay.
think the biggest step is they are already here today because these are parents who
Mm,
are very, very concerned about their children. Not that
mm,
people who are not here
mm,
are not concerned, but they're already taking a big
mm.
step
Big
to know,
step. Yes,
more
yes.
how they can help their children or look out for warning
Okay.
signs. Mm.
Yes, okay. All right, let's look at the first, okay, the actually depression, okay, this is the first, okay. Depression, in fact, okay, it is the most serious, okay, mental illness among all the teens, okay. It's the fourth leading cause of illness and disability among teenagers. Okay, so what is depression? It is actually a persistent feeling of sadness. Okay, it can be described as that. Okay, a persistent feeling of sadness, anxiety, okay, or emptiness. Okay, actually, according to IMH, right? Okay, IMH, depression, right, is actually the most common psychological disorder, okay, in Singapore. Okay, so professional projection, right, suggests that about 170,000, okay, adults, okay, will be affected by depression in their lifetime, okay, which is about 6.3% of the population. Even though, right, the actual estimate for teenagers are still not there yet, okay, but a lot of professionals in IMH, right, they believe that this kind of problem, right, actually on the rise, okay, among the teenagers. Okay, because you look at how serious it is among our adults, okay, so very likely, okay, it's on the rise as well, okay, among the teenagers. Okay, so okay, so usually, right, they will exhibit certain symptoms, okay, such as mood swings, okay, irritability, frustration, anger, okay, and usually, okay, these can also be explained by puberty, okay, and changes that they go through as they grow up, okay, but a lot of parents will actually underestimate, okay, or perhaps ignore these symptoms because they thought that it's only part and parcel of a puberty. Okay, then they may just overlook that, it may be like signs of like depression. Okay, so as parents, right, maybe y'all can like sometimes you have to observe more when you see that your child is having like mood swings all the time. Okay, because it may not be just puberty. Okay, it may be something else. Okay, often, right, parents do not know what is going on. Okay, so sometimes they will tell the kid, okay lah, okay, you just like, they will just downplay, okay, the severity of the situation. So they will tell the kid, okay, you just like go and exercise, or you just like go and like do something you like. Okay, but you need to understand that when someone is going through depression, right, he or she will lose interest in something he or she used to like. So if you tell the kid, you just go and play your game lah, okay, to distress yourself, go and play your game, okay, it will not help actually. Okay,
Mm.
actually those kids, right, they need real help, psychotherapy. So they need to go to visit, okay, psychiatrists, okay, who will
Mm.
actually like help them, okay, assess and then help them. Okay,
Okay.
consequences of depression. Okay, usually, right, the first one is quite obvious lah. Okay, relationship problems. Okay, usually when someone faces depression, he or she will start to withdraw, okay, from
Mm.
friends and family. Okay, then
Mm.
sometimes it will also appear very unfriendly to others. Okay, so sometimes you realize that people with depression, they tend to like to be alone, and then it's hard to get to like understand them. Okay, so because of that, right, they will also lose a lot of friendships and important relationships. Okay, they will have a hard time trying to keep people who are important to them. Okay, yes, okay. Second, risk taking, reckless behavior. Sometimes, right, they will do things like vandalism. Okay, like because out of like it could be because it's a way for them to express themselves. Okay, so they will do things that will shock others, okay, that they will
Mm.
otherwise avoid. Okay, things that are really dangerous, like vandalism, flouting the
Mm.
school rules, okay, and then they will challenge the law sometimes.
Because you have
Okay,
probably heard of situation whereby even the children actually start stealing, but when they check
yes.
the children's profile, actually they are quite well to do. So
Mm.
yeah, they didn't do it because they really want that thing very much. right?
Yes, yes, yes. Something like
Yeah.
that. So sometimes it's because of certain conditions, okay, that will actually lead to that. That is more like a conduct um issue. Okay, later on I will go to that. Okay, the conduct issue. Okay, then substance abuse. Okay, sometimes substance abuse, right, it's just self-medicating. It's a way to self-medicate. Okay, to feel to
Mm,
let them feel more normal. Okay, it's just
mm,
a way to make them like relieve that kind of sadness. Okay, so sometimes you realize that they resort to like substances. Okay, but that is because they want to self-medicate, feel better. Okay, so typically, right, it can begin as early as in primary school. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. Sometimes this kind of thing, right, it will not suddenly happen in secondary one. That means
Okay.
that it will actually carry on, it will build up
Okay. Like
until it
a snowball
explodes.
effect.
Something like that. So you realize that sometimes like those teens, right, when they actually do certain things that like for example suicide, okay, so when they do this kind of thing, right, when they attempted that act, okay, sometimes it's not like once off thing. They might have done it a few times, and then until the end they finally succeeded. Sometimes it's like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard
so
of it
they tried a
before.
few times like that.
The children
Mm,
call it I barcode. They try to create barcodes. You know the barcodes that
so
we
they cut
have on
themselves.
the purchase.
Yeah.
You know, we purchase an item.
Mm,
They always have these
mm,
barcodes with lines, right? So the
mm,
terms that
mm,
the children use is, yeah, they create barcodes. So they will test it out. What kind of strength, what kind of instrument can be used, the depth of it, and
mm,
it's all
mm.
experimenting, like what teacher Nicole is saying, until the day they really execute it successfully.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. So
Yeah,
this
look out
kind of
for
thing actually
signs.
parents must also observe, okay, whether
Yep,
because it will not like suddenly they just kill themselves or something like that. It will not
yep.
suddenly happen. Yes, it's over some time. Okay. Then the last one, oh no. I haven't talked about academic decline. Okay,
Mm.
academic decline actually is quite obvious lah, huh? Because if the kid is like
Wow.
preoccupied with his or her own issues, sometimes it will
Right.
show as a loss of interest in studies, etc.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
The last one. The last one is in fact, okay, the most serious risk. Okay.
Mm.
So yeah, so sometimes feeling of like hopelessness, isolation, or like worthlessness will actually push the kid to that
Mm.
stage. Okay. And but this is not, like I said, it's not like a once off sudden thing. Okay, it will actually show signs way before. Like you will see the kids start to self-harm, start to do different
Mm.
things, and then in the end finally, yeah, did that. Okay,
Mm.
so it's not a sudden thing lah. Okay.
Actually, as you're going through the points,
Mm,
one thing that struck me most, like
mm,
immediately, is
mm,
actually parents probably didn't understand why school have CCA, and sometimes they deem it as waste of time.
mm,
But actually, CCA is a common place for children with common interests get together
mm.
to
Yes,
support one another in that
yes,
positive way,
yes. I agree.
right?
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
But children themselves sometimes I think um like I have students tell me like they find, because recently CCAs are through Zoom, so they tell me so they keep telling me it's a waste of time, especially those that like uniform groups, they conduct CCAs through Zoom.
How to
I was
match?
like, how to match, ah? Is that a formation or something? Like, okay. So,
Uh,
like that. So to them, they find it like a waste of time. Then they start to tell me like, they don't want to go CCA because of all these things. Yeah, they find
oh,
that it's like not meaningful.
they're actually
Yeah.
looking forward to see each other for that team
Yeah,
spirit.
yeah. So I think it would be more beneficial if it's like, a face-to-face thingy instead of
Right.
like through Zoom or something. Yeah.
Okay, we hope the schools will hear this.
Schools
You know,
are
they
here.
can't meet in big groups, right? But you can gather like a senior with three kids, and it's a small team of four or
Yeah.
five. Yeah.
Yeah, or like like maybe for those like choir, right? They can meet in their own small section.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
instead of
mm.
like the
And
whole.
practice
Yeah.
in the like a big classroom, but
Mm,
the kids are dispersed, not standing so close to
yeah.
each other, lah. But
Yes.
they're not supposed
Yes.
to remove masks. They must sing. If you wear the mask, then it's not safe. Okay, you see, a lot of
Yeah, yeah,
constraints,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
constraints. No lah, singing not so bad. Can sing from home. They can a
yeah,
cappella
yeah.
together.
Yeah. I was wondering what if there's a lag.
Well, it's doable lah. It's doable. My cousin is in the Singapore Chinese Orchestra group.
Mm.
They actually play a song together while they're all at home. You see, and they manage to piece
Mm.
it together, so it's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was like discussing this thing. I was like, huh? Then what if the person has a like you said Chinese orchestra, then a sauna at home? Then you imagine you play the sauna, then all the neighbors will be like, who's that?
Yes. Yes. I had a friend, the son plays a trombone. So
Mm.
he has been practicing by himself. Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom, boom.
yeah. Boom, boom, all the time.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, anxiety disorder. Okay.
Wow.
Excessive worry, okay, about everyday matters. Okay, this is one of the, in fact, is also second most common, okay, mental health issue.
Okay.
Um, honestly, right, this kind of anxiety is not the typical, like, butterflies in your stomach or that kind of
Right.
feeling. Okay,
Okay.
because that this kind will eventually sometimes lead to panic attacks.
Mm.
Okay, so um honestly, okay, I myself, okay, as when I was a teen, right, okay, I
Mm.
experienced quite frequent episodes of panic attacks, okay, and I know it's
Wow.
really very scary. Yes,
When
it
does it
felt like
happen?
um when I was in JC.
Like which
So
time? Like must it be always exam period or
no, it's not. So sometimes it will interfere with your everyday life. Like it was suddenly, like sometimes you are just talking to someone, right? Then you feel the like suddenly it's triggered for no reason, like when there's no threat at all, yeah, nothing, it's just a casual conversation, then suddenly you feel that panic, and then
so
when
now?
it comes, right, when it
Mhm.
comes, it feels like heart attack, like that means your heart pumps so fast and so hard, the pounding is like so strong that you can't um that you are just focused on that heart thing, you are just so worried that the heart will just explode or
So
something.
so the thing
Yeah,
that you're worried about, has it anything to do with the person that you're talking to?
no, no. Yeah, it could be a very very you may find that situation very like absurd, okay, so it could be like, you're just dining somewhere like that, then
Okay.
suddenly it comes.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, so it's like super scary because it feels like heart attack, really feels like heart attack, like
How
the whole heart like pump very very fast and very hard, that kind of
how
feeling.
long did it take for you to recognize that? Because I'm
Actually
sure it
all
happens
along.
so often,
Mm-mm.
right? That
Yeah,
you know it,
when
that
it happened the first time, right, that
mm,
it suddenly felt like a heart attack, right, so I
mm,
went to see a doctor because I thought it was like the heart having problems. So I went to see
okay.
a doctor, but then in the end, I did see a cardiologist, like
Mm-hmm.
to examine the heart. But
Mm-hmm.
then the thing is, it was fine. So he said something like it is due to stress. He
Mm,
told me it's due
mm,
to stress, it's due
mm.
to other things like psychological issue, not really the heart
Do you
problem.
believe him?
I think so because it's really due to the psychological issue. Like after some time, right? Like when you focus on other things, I realized something. Okay, now I know how to manage it really. So sometimes when I'm too stressed out or something, and then when it comes, right,
Mm,
then I will start to like focus on other things. Like for example, I look at Facebook, I look at other things, right? Then
mm.
the heartbeat will slow down. Yeah, it will just slow down, and then it will just become back to normal again, like that.
So parents, you
Yeah,
hear that or not? She
and then
needs to
that.
look at the phone, the Facebook to distract herself. That's why the children always look at the phone.
But really, the episode is very short only. The from
Wow.
the like from the start to the climax and then back down, right? The whole
Mm,
process is only a few minutes only.
mm.
Yeah, then you'll feel like suddenly like feel like dying at it, and then after that it's back to normal. Yeah. So I think that when I was I did how to put it, like there was a student of mine, okay, in the past. She also had exactly the same thing, though she tell me that she had panic attacks and then at night and then and all those things, then um yeah, okay, so I feel that anxiety issues seem to be quite a common thing nowadays. Yeah, quite a common thing. Even that time the student also said exactly the same symptom. She said she had panic attacks, but that was when she's outside. Like when she go out, right, and then it's like very quiet, no, very crowded, then suddenly, right, she will have that heart attack feeling also. Yeah, then I'm like, oh, okay, so it's the same thing. Yeah. So
Now
that's
I remember I had a classmate, right, in secondary
mm,
school.
mm, mm,
She had this panic attacks, and yeah, she mentioned about like she's like overly stressed over stuff, and
mm.
it went to the point whereby she actually had this like paper bag with her. She says that when she
Hyperventilate.
has,
Yeah.
yeah, when she can't breathe, then she needs to
Mm.
use it.
Blow into the, yeah, correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, suddenly you mention all these things, all these memories are flooding back to
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
that we
yeah,
see all these things actually happening in class. You
yeah. Yes.
know, that's like more than 20 years ago.
Mm.
So okay, so it has been
It's a real
ongoing for a long
issue. Like,
time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the problem is that a lot of teens, right, they themselves are unaware that this is a panic attack. So they
mm,
themselves may think that, oh, how come I'm like this? Like physically, I'm
mm,
like this.
mm.
Because to them, they may think mental issue means something to do with mental. They wouldn't think it actually will exhibit in like physical forms like this.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
a
a
very
lot,
important point, parents. Mental
yeah,
illness. Am I using the correct term?
yes.
Mental illness
Like
may
some
not
disorders. Yeah.
disorder may not exhibit in mental form, but it could be in physical form.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Actually, it's quite
Okay.
common in physical form. Yeah, so sometimes you'll feel like tingling sensation or
Sweaty
like stomach
palms,
ache. Yeah, all the time. Yeah,
diarrhea.
stomach. Yeah. Okay, people with OCD, right, is also classified under this
Okay.
anxiety disorder. Okay, so those
Okay.
people who are obsessed with counting, okay, counting, like washing, checking,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
those are
Cleaning.
also,
Mm,
yes. Mm.
mm.
Okay, so consequences, right, of anxiety disorders, okay. First, okay, social withdrawals, okay, that is actually quite obvious lah, huh? Okay, so people with anxiety disorder,
Okay.
right, they are afraid of social situations, okay, because they feel like um they have to always be perfect. Okay, so they feel that they have to always be perfect, and as a result, right, they will be very careful about what they say and how they present themselves. Okay, so the first one, academic decline, okay, and social withdrawals, okay, quite common. It's a common sign. Okay, then the second one, okay, usually a teen, right, who experiences a lot of anxiety, right, they can be very conforming and perfectionistic.
Mm,
Okay, and because, right, he's unsure of himself, he or she unsure of himself. Okay,
mm.
like not doesn't believe in his or her own abilities, so that's why keep trying to be perfect, like keep trying to perfect something. Yeah, yeah, so
Right.
usually that happens.
Okay.
Okay, so in an
Okay.
attempt, right, to actually gain some approval, and also to avoid any disapproval from people outside. Okay, so sometimes, right, you will find the student or the child, okay, keep redoing the same task again and again and again, like keep checking the same thing again and again and again, because he or she is so afraid that, other people will judge. Yeah, will think that, oh, this is not perfect or something like that. Okay, then on the other extreme end, right, some of them will just give up totally. They will just procrastinate, give up totally, because to avoid what? To avoid any disapproval what? So might as well I don't do anything. Because I don't do anything, nobody will judge me. Nobody will say my work is not good. Yeah,
They have
some of them are like
lost
that.
self-confidence.
Yeah. So it's either they do it so
Yeah.
perfectly or they just give up totally. So two extreme
Okay.
ends. Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
do see that very often when I was teaching in the gifted program.
Mhm.
Yeah, even more so. Yeah,
Mm,
they are
mm,
very,
mm,
very extreme. So some parents have a misconception. They think that gifted pupils are all very smart. They don't have any disorder in any form. But we are very mindful and watchful of their emotional health, the mental health. Yeah,
mm,
so we're always checking in with them. Being a counselor myself, I will speak to each and every one of them, and then
mm,
not
mm,
single them
mm,
out, but I'll make appointments to meet
mm,
in groups of 3 or 4, and only some students one to one. They are very,
mm,
very extreme. We have the perfectionist people who are
mm,
always checking and redrafting that perfect work until the night before, until the 1 hour
mm,
before submission.
mm,
And then we have the group that feels that they are never able to perform to meet the standards of the rest of the people in the class, and so
mm,
they totally gave up by
mm.
themselves. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
correct. Yeah, very right. Yeah. So it's like two groups like that. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
very
So
worrying.
yes.
Mm,
So usually, right, this is actually in just to they just want to seek reassurance. Okay, after all, it's just to seek reassurance. Okay.
mm,
Then
mm,
usually, right, sometimes it will also lead to eating
mm,
disorders.
mm,
Okay, mood and eating disorders. Okay, later on I'll go to eating disorders lah. Okay, I will
mm.
talk more about that. Okay, then the
Wow.
fifth one, suicidal. Okay, thoughts and self-destructive behaviors. Okay, so
Mm,
usually, right, if you notice if that really happened, right, then must seek immediate treatment and help. Okay, it should not like drag until like really happen, then you regret or something. Okay, but
parents,
please,
when there's a
yeah,
bit of hint of pointer number
mm,
5,
mm,
you must inform the school. It is a
mm,
must. Okay, you cannot keep it to yourself and say we'll handle it within our family. You must inform the school. Okay, then
mm,
they'll inform the form teacher and all the subject teachers that are teaching this child, because you never know, one word that they use in class could trigger an
mm,
immediate effect. You never know. Okay, that word trigger that could trigger it may not be something bad. It could be
mm,
a very simple word like mother. We do not know what the child is going through, but the teacher might just say the word mother and it triggers and something will happen immediately. Yeah, I'm just saying using like a very neutral word. All right, it may
mm,
not be something negative.
mm.
Yeah,
I
so you
agree. I
must
agree.
must inform. Okay, this is the protocol, the SOP for schools when we hear of such any such situation. Okay, the support group will be put in place.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay, then the last one, right? Alcohol, substance abuse. Again, this is usually used to self-medicate. Yeah,
Mm.
so sometimes when they feel like they can't cope, okay, they can't cope with their anxieties, right? They will resort to like substance, drug use, okay, or actually develop some rituals, okay, just to reduce that kind of anxiety that they have. Okay.
Mm.
Next,
Yeah.
eating disorder. Okay, eating disorder, right? Okay, half of the girls, okay, in 13 to 15 age range, okay, actually believe that they are overweight. Actually, not just that, lah. Actually, I I do see a lot of students actually tell me those
No.
things. Actually, it's quite yeah, and the thing is, okay, the boys, right, they are not immune to this. Okay, nowadays, you realize that boys start to gym like at a very young age. Okay, in the past, maybe adults then go and gym or something. But nowadays, boys are very like obsessed with
Younger.
their appearance. Yeah, getting
13,
younger.
14. Why
Yeah,
everyone
then
wants to look like BTS, is it?
some
Must
of them
must
right,
have a certain type of
so
face
young.
or hair.
Yeah, so young, right? But the body look like very very mature, that kind of like shape, like as if they train very hard for it every day like that. Yeah, some of them start eating protein powder at a very young age.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I used to have this Catholic high boy. Okay, I have a student. Okay, so that student, right?
Oh,
He
I
started
see.
eating at sec 2. Yeah,
Wow,
because I
so
realized that his
early.
body, yes, I realized his body, right, get more and more like muscular like that. Then I was wondering, but he's so young, how come the body get like this? Then he tell me, oh, I gym every day. Then I asked him, like, do you eat protein powder? Because usually that kind of shape, right? I mean, in order
Right,
to get that
right.
shape, you
You
need to eat protein
accelerate
powder lah.
the
Yeah,
process.
yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah. So I asked him, then he say, yes. Like he consumes protein powder every day. And then before the gym, okay, then sometimes he will
mm,
eat those a bit like what's that like a stimulant like this, okay, so that when he gyms, right, his heart will pump faster.
mm,
Yeah, something
mm,
like this. Yeah, so after that, right, that's how he actually get that kind of shape. But it's getting very like the age, right, becomes younger and younger. Yeah,
mm,
in the
mm,
past I
mm.
never heard of like a sec 2 like
Well,
doing
but
this.
now because of the
Yeah.
exposure to the social media, so they're always like looking at Instagram, TikTok. They are looking at what people post. And
Mm,
in the younger days, I mean, back then, my time and yawns ago, donkey years ago, it's
mm,
the idea of what Barbie doll is, example. So
mm,
girls, so I never had a Barbie doll. I don't like
mm,
it because I don't believe I should look like this. Then
mm,
I didn't know that lah. It was like natural, in me. Then when I became a teacher,
mm,
this mentor actually told me that Barbie doll is actually quite dangerous doll to a
mm,
gift. for any
Yes.
young girl. You make that girl think that if I don't look like this girl, I don't have hair or eyes or body like this lady, like this model person, then I'm not perfect.
Yeah. Yes.
Then I've seen YouTube
Yeah.
videos of how people wants to be Ken. It's
Yeah.
just not right. Not right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Be
true.
very
Yeah.
careful.
Sometimes like the Barbie doll, right, make the girl thinks that, that is the ideal. Like she should look like this.
Yes. But
Yeah,
studies
yeah.
have shown, they did a research, that the proportion
Mm.
is off, okay? Nobody should ever have such a body proportion. Really, you go and Google YouTube or whatever you can find.
A normal human being should
No,
have that
yes.
kind of shape.
So if a whole human being to have that body ratio, that person will look out of proportion. It's like
That's true.
impossible.
That's
Yeah.
very true, eh. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
That
the waist is like super
so
thin,
small.
super slim. Yeah, how can that be possible? Yeah.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
back to what Nicole is covering, that more and more young children are starting to exhibit all this at a
Yeah.
younger age compared to back then, maybe 30
Yeah.
years ago. It starts at
Yes.
16 or 18. Now at
Yeah.
13, 14, they want to look good, look pretty, use
Yes.
facial cream, pimple cream, or, always, what, maybe they are already starting their own facial or mask at home. We do not know.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, definitely. I think that is happening, like, especially when, nowadays, right, there are more and more shops that are for these kind of, like,
right.
okay, more and more shops, right, the target audience are actually the teens.
No wonder the
Yeah,
things they
especially
sell
those
are so cheap.
Korean shops. Yeah, Korean shops. So their things are usually priced lower. And then that
Very
kind of models that they pick,
affordable.
yeah, are
Yeah.
targeted at teens.
So
Yeah, that's why.
parents, you are being more aware now. Okay, yeah, social media is very, very damaging, if it's not managed well. But then again, you cannot say, oh, because of this I'm going to remove the phone, he cannot look at it, or she should not do this or that. I think with a lot of close communication, to let them be aware of it, will help
Mm,
them rethink about what they're watching and be more
mm,
mindful. Yeah. Okay, I can see your
mm.
next pointer is on anorexia and
Yeah,
bulimia.
anorexia. I'm looking at the
Yes.
comments. Oh wow. Oh, when I refresh, then suddenly I see other
Okay,
comments.
okay, you can
Okay.
reply the comment. I
Because just
replied
now I
most of
didn't
it.
refresh, then I was like, how come the comments stuck at like so
Yes,
few?
yes, we have some parents
Okay.
commenting about
Right.
their experience that they had.
Mm,
Yeah, I,
mm,
I think most importantly is parental support. The word, one parent actually typed that, in denial. When parents are in denial, right, your kids
mm,
are very, very lost. My parents
mm,
don't believe me, so who do I turn to?
mm.
Sometimes they don't feel comfortable talking to
Yes.
a stranger like a counselor in school. Like, I don't even know this
Mm,
lady, this auntie. Then why should I talk to this lady, right?
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And I think a lot of parents, right, will downplay. Y'all will downplay the severity
Situation.
of it. Yeah, it's actually a lot of parents didn't see that, I mean, maybe they didn't think lah that way lah. They may think that, oh, it's just a normal thing, like maybe just a normal like mood swing or a normal like stress. Yeah,
Mm,
sometimes they never think in that direction. Like it could
mm,
be something else.
mm,
Yeah. And a lot of them don't want to believe in it. Like is that like in self-denial? Like don't want to
mm,
believe that the child actually has some mental issue.
mm.
Yeah. Mm. Okay,
Yes.
anorexia, bulimia. Okay, anorexia, right?
What's the difference?
Okay, anorexia, right, is actually a total, okay, or partial abstinence from food. Okay,
Okay.
so that means like uh okay, usually right, these kids they want to maintain not maintain, in fact they want to slim down. Yeah, so they want to achieve like a better
Excessive.
shape or something. Okay, to them lah, they think like the Barbie doll shape or something. Okay, a better
Okay.
shape. So because of that, right, because he or she believes that any food, okay, will actually contribute to weight gain. So he or she will try to like stop eating too much. In fact, will try to reduce until it's like minimal. Yeah, sometimes it's like this until it's unhealthy, okay, to that extent.
Mm,
Okay, so usually, right, because of this unhealthy preoccupation with um with food and exercise, okay, sometimes you notice that, okay, and exercise also, okay, some kids, they will show it in this way, okay, they will exercise excessively. So
Oh,
excessively, yeah, and because they want to lose weight. Yeah, so that's why they keep
right.
exercising, but it's to a point where it's like it's a
Okay.
bit like crazy, that kind already. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So and also purging, okay. So purging involves like, use of laxatives and also like self-induced vomiting.
Is
Yeah.
that
So
bulimia?
no, okay, that is also bulimia. Okay, that is also
Oh.
that is bulimia is more like overeating. So bulimia
Oh,
is like
bulimia is
overeating.
overeating. Then?
Yeah, overeating. Then
Uh-huh.
after that, because of the guilt of overeating, so the kid,
Right.
right, will actually like use
Purge out the
laxatives
food.
or like,
Uh.
vomit out the food after that. That's
Oh,
bulimia. Bulimia
okay.
is overeating. Anorexia is like don't want to eat.
So
Yeah.
just now you said parents must look out for your children's eating habits.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean
eating
that
habits.
don't eat, you pay more attention. Eating normally is normal.
Correct.
Because
Yeah.
when you go to sleep, they do something in the toilet.
Yes, something like that.
Ah, then how
So
to tell?
so okay, bulimia is quite okay, bulimia, right, okay, sometimes, right, you can observe the duration that the kid stays in the bathroom, and sometimes you
Right.
can hear, and you can hear like the that sound of like self-induced
So pay
vomiting,
more
or like,
attention. Don't just lock up in
yeah,
your own room.
yeah, if let's say
Right.
the kid spends like a long time in the washroom, right, and then
Yeah.
you notice that, oh, actually there are like, those substance, like after you have vomited, that kind of stuff,
Right.
yeah,
Right. Look for
on,
evidence.
look for evidence, yeah.
Mm,
Okay,
mm.
so things like that lah,
You
okay.
need to be
and
smarter than
and
your children.
and usually, right, exercising also, excessive exercising, I think a lot of parents might overlook this part. Excessive
Okay.
exercising, yeah,
Okay.
sometimes exercise until the point that you find that it's a bit like over already, like a bit crazy, that kind.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
so that is also a problem.
mm.
So not just
Like instead
eating.
of doing 10 kilometers every day, your child do 15 to 20 kilometers every day.
But actually, usually that is with an intention one. The intention is to slim down. Okay, and then he or she wears himself, herself out like that, just run and run and run like this. That is also a problem already.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Then
I
usually,
have,
right.
okay. You
Yes,
carry
yes,
on
yes.
first. You
Yeah.
carry on first.
Usually there's another less common
Mm,
eating disorder, right? We call it orthorexia.
mm.
Okay, orthorexia is also another one, but it's a less common one lah. Okay, it usually involves, right, extreme exercise also, extreme exercise, and also obsession with eating healthy food. So the kid will tell
Wow.
you something like, oh, this thing has a lot of carbs. Okay, this thing has a lot of
Oh,
carbs, so I'm not going to eat. Yeah, they will give you excuses like this, like as if they are eating very
okay.
healthy food all the time. I will avoid butter. I will
Okay.
avoid oil.
Fries with no salt.
Yeah, I will
Uh,
avoid all this. Yeah,
right.
yeah. So usually it will be shown as like, it will be, yeah, like as if the child is very concerned about his or her health, but then
Right.
it's actually to slim down or to become
Mm,
better. Yeah. But usually orthorexia, right, they have a different, more like it's not totally bad lah, because sometimes it really depends. Okay. In certain cases, right, they just want to have a cleaner and
diet. Mm,
purer body. That's all. Yeah.
okay.
So it really depends on the intention. So for example, if the
Right.
child does
Okay.
this to slim down,
Mm,
then
mm,
to this extent, then that's a bit overboard. But if let's say the child says, oh, I just want to have a healthier diet,
mm,
and then
mm,
because I want to have a healthier body, that is another thing already.
mm.
So we have
Like
to
how
check.
some people choose to be
Yeah.
vegan for a
Yeah.
purpose.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
at the end of the day, everything is in this gray area that
Mm,
you just need to be very mindful and watchful,
mm.
and have a lot of communication with your children so that they
Yes.
know that you are aware of all these things that are around, that's happening around to people, and have an open discussion so that you can help them.
Mm,
Just now I wanted to say that
mm,
I know of somebody who
mm,
is going through this anorexia condition. I
mm,
also had one school friend who had it at the age of 17 or 18. She will only weigh close to 30 kilograms.
mm.
Yeah, so every time during recess, she will just walk away from the entire group and says that she's going to the library to read, or she has eaten and she's going to the library to do her homework. But actually, she just like stopped eating totally because she's too stressed over exams. She spent a couple of months in IMH. They shared that it was quite torturous because I think there are like CCTVs like watching her. That she finished that cup of milk, she finished her meals, and she don't purge it out. Yeah,
Oh
so she's being
no.
watched how she eat, her daily lifestyle. When my younger son was in KKH for some other lungs issues, next to his bed, my son then was like only like 2 years old. Next to his bed was actually a 16-year-old RGS girl. Admitted her to IMH, and eventually I think sent her to KKH, and she has been like on the bed for I think 1 week or 2 weeks. She actually took her O levels Chinese while she was in hospital.
Oh.
Yeah, because her mom reported her. The mom knew that she was going through this whole thing, this anorexic thing. Yeah, that the mom says that this is the second time, and this time around, I think I need to help her. Results is not everything. Why would I want to go home when my daughter is no longer there, right? Yeah. So I think that that's very brave of parents who dare to accept
Yes.
the fact and walk this journey
Yes.
together with their children.
Yes. And in fact, a lot of kids really need that support
Yeah.
because at such a young age, right? Okay, they are unable to recognize it themselves. They really, some of them, they don't know that this is actually issue, a real thing, a real serious issue. They really don't know because they are at such a young age. They're only
Yeah.
what, like 12, 13, some of them 12, 13 only, sec 1, sec 2, like,
Yes.
that kind of age. Then how would they know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so usually they really like need parents to, identify, to tell them, to
Yes.
recognize that, you have this problem, we go and treat this
Yes.
together. Yeah. Yeah. So
What would
yeah.
actually shock you is that this is one spectrum of it that they do not
Mm,
know. The other spectrum is that they are totally aware of it and they
mm,
mask it. I learned this word masking when I was a counselor, and I was
mm.
always being on my toes looking for people who mask themselves.
Math.
Yeah, masking. Yeah.
Yes.
So they are
Yeah.
very good at telling you the answers you want to hear. So a friend who is going through this journey with a child,
Mm,
the child said that, Mom, all your therapists and counseling sessions all
mm,
don't work. Stop
mm,
telling me
mm,
those things because I don't like to hear them. So when she
mm,
says, I'm fat, actually she's not lah, she's very skinny. She said, I'm
mm,
fat.
mm.
Your reply, okay, is not supposed to be, no, you're not fat.
Yeah, I agree.
They
I
hate to
agree.
they hate to
Yes.
hear it.
Yeah, they hate to hear.
They
Yeah.
hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So her role now as a mother is that they will
Yeah.
not discuss whether you're fat or not. She says that if you're
Mm,
at the dining table, everybody eats. And
mm,
she just makes sure she eats a fair portion to sustain. But if
mm,
she says that if I don't cook dinner, it will mean that really she's going to go without food. So she'll make sure that everybody has a good breakfast and a good
mm,
dinner. But in the middle of the day, okay,
mm,
from 7:30 up to dinner, maybe 7 o'clock, that 12
mm,
hour mid whole day, maybe she
mm,
eats nothing. She just say that, okay, fine, never mind, it's all right. At least I have given her a breakfast and
mm.
there's some dinner.
Yeah.
That's the support the
Yes.
mother is giving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
That's true. That's true. By saying that she's not fat, right, it will not help at all.
I
Yeah.
was very
Because
really
the
surprised to hear.
correct. Because the kid
Yeah.
herself will still think that she still thinks the way she thinks, what? She
And
still
in
think that
fact,
okay, I'm fat.
she got
Yeah.
angrier. Then she'll stop talking to
Yeah.
all of you because you don't believe what I
Mm,
say. In front of the
yeah.
mirror, I see a very fat person. You don't
Yes.
see what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So then I will not have any more conversation with you, and you just like cut it off already. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then
I
again, we are
agree.
just sharing in terms of experiences and stories we hear from our friends. Your
Mm,
child may be different. So you
mm,
have to see the scenario and the situation. Okay?
mm.
Mm.
Okay. Usually coexist lah with these issues. Okay, let's look at conduct disorder. Okay, usually conduct disorder. Okay, more common among boys. more common, okay? But doesn't mean that girls are immune again, okay? It depends on the kind of personality, you know, but
Yes.
more common in boys, okay? Usually, right, conduct disorder, right, okay, is characterized by a very violent behavior, okay? So this violent behavior, right, could be, okay, aggression, okay, to people, animals, okay? That means, right, maybe, okay, it could be like abuse of animals, okay? So, or like a disregard, total disregard, or very mean and cruel to somebody, okay? And then he or she actually delights in that, okay,
Mm,
finds it very happy to actually abuse something, abuse animals, to be very bad to somebody, okay, to
mm,
bully
mm,
somebody. Yes. Then also, right,
mm,
he or she may actually destroy some properties, okay, like for example, okay, vandalism, okay, vandalism, okay, this kind of or like for example, okay, set up a fire, okay, set up a fire. Oh, back to the aggression thing, you
mm.
sometimes, right, it could be the use of weapons also, okay, use of weapons. So that means,
Oh.
right, yes, for example, okay, if he really really enjoys, okay, when he hold on to a bat, okay, like, you know, maybe a baseball bat, or like anything, okay, that can allow him to like hit somebody, okay, then like a baseball bat, a brick, okay, a broken bottle, knife, okay, hammer, okay, gun, okay, in Singapore we don't have that lah, but you know, in other countries, okay, maybe like guns, okay, then they find it very exciting, okay, to hold on to those things, because it gives them some kind of, that can actually cause physical harm to others, okay, so it gives them some kind of like like I would say that kind of how to put it, like give them like
Satisfaction.
correct, satisfaction, or like, you know, when they hold on to it, they feel that they have power, empowerment,
Empowerment. Yeah, I think
yeah,
the other part is after it's done
something like that.
and you're not caught. Wow.
Yes,
Wow, that sense of achievement is even better.
yeah, yes, yes.
Hmm.
So something like that, yeah, okay. So and also, okay, a lot of them tend to lie a lot, okay,
Mm.
lie, steal, like they find it very exciting also, okay, to break into somebody's house, okay, to steal something, and then to lie about something so that they can avoid any obligations, so they can lie in your face like this, okay, so to avoid like any punishment, okay.
Mm.
Then they steal items, shoplifting, okay,
Mm.
okay, flouting of rules, okay, serious violation of rules.
Okay.
So sometimes, okay, these people they like to do things like, you know, running away from homes, yeah,
Mm.
so they will like, you know, sometimes don't come back at night, okay, or
Mm.
stay out at the friend's house, okay, despite parental objections. So even if the
Wow.
parents say no no no, okay, they
Mm,
still like leave the house and go to friend's house to stay, yeah, purposely one, okay, intentionally,
mm,
okay, so
mm.
like this, okay. So consequence, okay, antisocial behavior, because sometimes it is obvious, okay, if people are like that, okay, nobody wants to go near them, right, for because they are scared, right. So this is quite obvious, okay, lifelong criminality, so sometimes it may develop into criminal behavior,
Yeah.
okay, if it's not like controlled, or if it's not like yeah, controlled, okay, early. Okay, schizo, let's look at schizophrenia and bipolar disorder.
Wow. So young
Schizo,
ah.
yeah, schizo. But the thing about schizo and bipolar is that it's very hard to detect
Oh.
among teens. Very hard to detect, okay? Because we can't really tell the difference between moodiness and also the
Mm.
symptoms. Because
Mm.
sometimes at the start, early onset, okay, it's more like it's like moodiness. It's just like moodiness and like just like a
Mm.
bit of a mood swing, yeah, at the onset, okay, early onset. So that's why a lot of parents just think that, oh, it's just a normal thing, it's just a puberty thing, yeah,
Mm.
so they can't
Mm.
really differentiate, you know, between like moodiness and this schizo and bipolar, yeah, so usually that is the issue, okay. So but schizo, right, later on it will develop into something else. So
Okay.
after that, right, those symptoms are easier to detect already. Okay, because right,
Right.
for people with schizo, right, sometimes they
Mm.
cannot differentiate between reality and
Mm. Mm.
like like non-fiction and fiction. They can't really differentiate.
Mm.
Yeah. So they will start to hear things. Yeah, they will start to hear things, imagine things, and then they will start to tell you things that you find it a little absurd. Like, hey, how come you tell me this kind of thing? Like as if that thing is real, you know. They will actually tell you. They describe it as if that thing is real. Like they will
Wow.
tell you, oh, that person did this to me. That person want to run a car,
Right.
like want to want to kill me or something like that. Okay. So they will describe it as if it's like a very real thing, but actually it's not. That thing doesn't even
Mm.
exist. Yeah, so
Mm.
yeah, people with schizo later on is like easier to detect already. And then they usually, right, from the facial expressions,
Mm.
from certain cues, okay, like the kind of, usually it's the kind of expression and the kind of reaction that they give. Because sometimes, right,
Mm.
like for example, okay, like a sad movie, then they start to laugh at the sad movie. Yeah, so yeah,
Ah.
inappropriate responses at certain things, then you will start to sense that it is a bit off. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, that's when like we can detect that okay, that is schizo. Yeah. So it's
Mm.
usually later on one, okay, at a
Okay.
later
Okay.
stage. Okay, bipolar, right, is a more bipolar is like it's more like a very serious mood swing, okay, but it's a very, very bad one. Okay. That means when the person, right, they will go through like manic episodes. That means like periods of very, very extreme happiness. Okay,
Okay.
and then high energy and activity. Okay, that is just a short moment. Then after that, okay, he or she will go into a deep depression. After that, okay, he or she will go into deep depression. We
Mm.
call them depressive
Mm.
episodes. So it alternates like this: manic, depressive, like that. Yeah. So but usually, right, why is this a problem, right? Is that when the child is actually at that with when the child is like highly energetic, okay, sometimes he or she may do things that are risky. Yeah. So when he or she are very like happy, like extreme happiness, it doesn't mean that like suicide will not take place. Yeah, because sometimes he's too
Right.
happy, who too happy already, right? It's like that kind of, yeah, he may just lose his like control, then to a point
Mm.
where you just like jump down or something like that. Yeah,
Mm.
so
Mm.
it's not like only suicide will not take place like only during depressive episodes, but also like sometimes it could be like when the child
Mm.
is experiencing this like extreme happiness. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm, mm, mm.
Mm. No, because I'm just reflecting about
Thinking.
some situations when it was a grieving period. Then
Mm,
I wouldn't say my mom has these symptoms, but I think it's because she's grieving, right? So that period she was very, very sad. But in order to prevent herself being sad, she was also laughing a lot at at the wake. So
mm,
yeah, so I don't think she has that symptom, but I think she was
mm,
like being very aware that I shouldn't be so sad. So she was trying to make
mm,
herself happy. But in that kind of happiness, it accidentally led into excessive laughter, period of like laughter. Then we try to watch over her and manage her and tell her, Mommy, you calm down first, you
mm,
know. Yeah. Very, very extreme behavior, a very
mm,
extreme mood swing within
mm,
that
mm,
grieving
mm,
period
mm,
of
mm, mm,
a few weeks. Yeah,
mm,
so that's why family support is very important to help her put her back on track. So
mm,
it can happen to anybody.
mm.
And yeah, so
Okay.
I think anxiety and all these will lead to all these symptoms.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
like what you
So
said, it builds on.
yeah.
Mm.
Yes. It really a lot of family background. Okay. Usually that part is plays an very important role.
So
Okay.
real.
So so we look at some of the risk factors. Okay. The causes. Okay. First is obviously family background. Okay. So if the child, right, lives in a very difficult like
Mm.
circumstance, okay, like for example like domestic violence, substance abuse, like poverty, okay, neglect, okay, or other sorts of family issues, okay, sometimes it could be like sexual abuse, okay, in sexually
Mm.
abusive families, okay, I think that is also a real issue nowadays. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So usually all these, right, will lead to stress and anxiety. Okay, to the teen. Okay.
Right.
So excessive stress, right, and sometimes it's also excessive stress. Okay, from parents. Okay, to perform well. Okay, perform well in all areas. Okay, it could be like not just in academics. Sometimes parents want the kid to like excel in sports in all areas, become a perfect person. Okay, then in that sense, okay, that kind of pressure may be too much for the child to handle. Okay, so family background. Okay, social media also, especially like nowadays, right, like Instagram. Okay, a lot of Twitter, right, a lot of kids, right, they are too focused on likes. Okay, the need to actually gain that like, right, that like, okay, is so important to them. Okay, so because of that, right, sometimes, right, they may like do some changes to their appearance. Yeah, they may actually change their appearance, do some negative behavior. Sometimes it's not like, some could be very risky behavior. Okay, we know that, some of these actually happen and then got the child killed. Okay, so those very risky behavior, those challenge, they like to have
Okay.
something challenge, and then you are supposed to do that kind of thing. Yeah, so sometimes in order to gain that like, right, kids actually engage in that kind of behavior. Okay, so that they can get likes. Okay, yep. Okay, oh, by the way, okay, I haven't talked about cyberbullying. Okay, so cyberbullying, right, is also quite common. Okay, especially the kind of effect they have on girls, especially. Okay, um because like sometimes, cyberbullying, it could be because of certain things that people say. Yeah, girls are more affected lah, generally. Okay, about like the comments. Okay, the kind of like like physical like attacks, like people, yeah, more like, comments that people make about certain people, about that person. Okay, that actually has a great impact on that person. Yeah, so I think for it will have a greater impact on girls generally because of the sensitivity. Okay, so that is why yeah, cyberbullying is also a very serious issue nowadays.
Mm.
Okay, traumatic life events. Okay, traumatic life events such as loss, okay, of a loved one. Okay, that is also a traumatic life event. Then sometimes, right, accidents, okay, can also cause certain part of the brain. Okay, can also cause injury to certain part of the head. Okay, or like for example, neurological conditions such as epilepsy. Okay, can also have an impact on
Mm.
the mood and behavior of that person.
Mm.
Okay, things like that sometimes will have an impact. Okay, so it can also trigger like bipolar episodes. Okay, so sometimes accidents do like physical changes. Okay, like accidents, all that. Okay, sometimes will also lead to mental conditions. Okay, internally, okay, internal factors could be genes. Okay, genes.
Right.
Yes. Genetics.
Hereditary.
Yes,
Yes.
genetics. Okay.
Yes.
Um, studies, actually research, has shown that certain mental health problems, okay, can be caused can actually run in the family. Okay, so
Mm.
it can be caused by certain genetics, okay, biology.
Right.
Yeah, so if
Okay.
you have a parent with schizo, right, it doesn't mean that, okay, it's not a causal relationship. That means it doesn't mean that, oh, if your parent is schizo, then that means you must be a schizo. It's not a like causal, it's not a causal relationship, but it's just a correlational one. That means that the research showed that, okay, there is a correlation, but it doesn't mean that, like
It
the
must or
genetics would,
defined.
yeah, will
Okay.
definitely cause that thing. Okay, so it's just a correlational one. Yeah, so
Mm.
yeah, so the likelihood of the child, right, developing schizo is higher, but it doesn't mean
Mm.
it will be definite.
Mm. It's
Okay,
like
it doesn't
depression.
mean, yeah, because
Right.
they feel that, right, it could be other factors leading to it, like environment
Yes.
factors.
Correct.
Okay, so it could be like the way, the parents think, the way the parents cope with stress, the way the parents behave, and then that is actually taught to the kid. So the kid may actually cope the same way as well. Yeah,
Right.
so maybe the parents actually impart the same values, Yeah,
Right.
then to the kid. And then the kid
Right.
was like, I think, okay, that is the way to think, to cope with stress, da, da, da. So
Yeah.
as a result, the kid also turned into a schizo.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So
it could be like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So on the contrary, if the
Mm,
child actually if the child actually has good support group from external group, from friends, or from
mm.
teachers or what, then yeah, that child probably don't exhibit that so
Yes,
so much of it,
I
right?
agree. I
Mm,
agree.
mm,
Mm. Okay. Medical condition. Okay. Sometimes, right, symptoms of depression, right, can be a sign of other medical condition. Okay. Sometimes, like, what is that called? Hypothyroid hypothyroidism. Yeah,
mm,
hypothyroidism. Yeah, hypothyroid. Okay. So hypothyroidism, okay, or other disorder, okay, can actually lead to depression also. Okay. Sometimes
mm,
also could be the consumption of like certain medication. Okay, certain medication can also lead to depression. Okay, so it may not be like totally like due to maybe like family or all that. Sometimes it could be because the person himself or herself has
mm,
pre-existing medical condition.
mm,
Yep.
mm. Okay.
Okay. Okay. These actually
Wow,
are
this is so important.
yeah, yeah, but this right, I actually just now roughly talked about all these already.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
depression, losing interest in things he or she used to enjoy, withdrawal from others, crying. Okay,
yes.
sometimes sleeping too much also is a sign. Okay, it's not just
Yes,
it's not just not sleeping, but
not
sleeping
just
too
tired,
much.
right?
Yeah,
Mm.
because sometimes when he or she loses interest, right, then we'll just sleep
Escape.
all the way. Yeah, we'll just
Escape
escape,
lah.
just sleep all the
Escape
way.
from things, right? And
Yeah,
crying. So if the boys cry, the parents will say,
yeah.
hey, boys, don't cry. Why are you crying?
Yeah. Then start to judge, right? Then start
Yeah.
to like, yeah.
So
Mm,
counselors like ourselves, we will say the other way. Just cry it. Just cry. Let it
yeah.
out. There's nobody else
Let
in
it
the room.
out.
Let it out. And after that,
Yeah.
they feel so much better. Then they will start to tell you how they feel.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah. And also, last point, an unexplained aches and pain. So sometimes it
Mm.
will show in physical form also. So not just like emotional form.
Can I
Okay.
answer a sensitive question?
Yes.
Can parents take a photo of this and show their child? Are you like that? Because they do not know
Okay.
how to approach their kids. So they'll ask, son, are you like this? Shall we talk?
But okay. But the thing is, if I mean,
Would you,
if a
I mean, you
child
handle
is
a
really
lot of teens, right?
depressed, you think about it, if a teen is really depressed, you
Mm.
send the teen this thing, are you like this? Isn't it worse, right? Like
I
the
mean,
teen
you
will
work
be
with
like,
a lot of
huh?
teens. You
Are
you
you
work
saying that
with,
I'm like this?
but what would your students say to you? You
I
know,
have this very cute
yeah.
student, okay. I think she is really more okay. Usually lah, okay, when these teens are generally, if they really have issues on, right, they will appear quieter and more those that I've encountered, okay, they will
Mm.
appear like quieter, and then they tend to
Inward.
when they share
Yeah.
it's usually one to one.
Okay.
Yeah, so usually they do I will not like like show them like are you this like this, but they themselves, right, they will actually reveal. So like
Okay.
through conversations, then I will ask them like, why are you like this, like why you suddenly have emotional outbursts in class. So I used to have this student,
Ah.
right, she tear paper in class, like the whole lesson, she take a piece of paper, then she tear and tear and tear into little tiny pieces like that, and then she tear and tear, the whole lesson tear and tear and tear like this. Then I asked her like, huh?
Wow.
What is going on? And someone she's right before me, and then she then the whole lesson. Then I was like, oh my god. Then after that I asked her, and then she was like saying she's very angry. She's very angry. Then she's angry at somebody in the class. Then I was like, huh? Why? To the extent, you have to tear paper the whole lesson. Then I was like, what is that? Why
Oh,
do you
she
hate that
couldn't
person so
manage it
much?
already.
Yeah. Then after that, she like shared with me like the kind of things that happened. But I feel that she's just too obsessed with the incident that happened. Like it keeps
Okay.
replaying in her head.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the details keep replaying, keep replaying like this. Yeah, she can't let go of that whole incident. Yeah. Then she's also the one that, like I said, the one that has the the panic attack one. It's the same
I
goal.
see. Okay. So
Yes.
there could be many symptoms and a lot of signs coming
Yeah.
together.
But usually when we approach these kids, right, we do not like, tell them, I think you are this, like that. Okay. So
Okay, so
usually
parents
we
don't do
will,
that.
but we will sense, okay, maybe it's like this. Okay.
Right.
So we will like try to, usually they are not, they can open up when it's the right time. Okay.
Okay.
So like, for
Okay.
example, when it's a one-to-one, especially one-to-one, like if it's a like maybe a more, we might have to find a more appropriate location and a more appropriate, like when there's no one else. Yeah, then they will open up. Like when you ask, and then you like you just have a normal chit chat with he or she, and then will slowly open up like
Mm.
that. Yeah.
I think the word is yeah, you mentioned about location. I think many parents
Yeah.
probably don't even realize it's not just appropriate time, but the
Yeah.
location plays a part. It could be evening exercising and then you're just walking,
Yes. Yes.
and it's just two of you
Yes.
walking and not distracted by the phone or anything else.
Correct.
Mm.
Correct. Yeah. So when like there's no one else, or like when you're at a place where they feel relaxed, right? Then they will slowly review certain things, and then you just ask them like, oh, about like what actually happened. Then they will describe the whole thing and then how they actually feel about that thing. Then from there you can analyze like, how come her thinking is like a bit different? Yeah, why is she thinking that way? A bit extreme. Yeah, then that's when you can detect like certain things, like certain signs. Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, anxiety disorder, right? Continual nervousness, okay, restlessness. Okay, sometimes it could be restlessness. Like you feel like you cannot, like a lot of people with anxiety disorder, right? They feel that um if they rest, okay, if they like just let things go, they feel very uneasy about it. So they have to cling
Mm.
onto that thing. Like they have to like make it like happen and then make it like perfect, like that. Yeah. So people with anxiety disorder, sometimes they could be quite restless. Okay.
Right.
And then
Okay.
extreme stress even in the absence of threat. Like I mentioned just now, okay, like when there's nothing, okay, just in a restaurant, and suddenly the panic attack came. Yeah, it could be like just nothing. Yeah. Yeah, then usually they will appear withdrawn, okay, and then they will try to
Mm.
avoid any social situations
Mm.
because they are not willing to, they are just afraid, okay, that they may say the wrong things, and then people will judge them.
Mm.
Okay, then they become like not perfect anymore. Yeah, something like that.
Mm.
Okay, then muscle tension, cramps, stomach ache, headache,
Right.
pain. Yeah, actually it will actually show in the in physical form also.
Okay.
Okay, so
That's
sometimes,
why
right,
the kids are nearing exam all got tummy ache. Then
that
I'll
one
start to take
different lah.
as anxiety disorder.
That kind different. That kind is like a
It,
once off one. It's not like
I no,
frequent.
I'll tell you it could be no. I may have
Really,
this when I
yeah.
was younger. That means in primary school it start with a bit of cramps and tummy ache, right? Then later
Uh,
you reach secondary school, the stress level is higher already because more subjects to manage. So then
mm,
my other symptoms will appear.
uh,
Then when I reach JC and uni, then
mm,
the depression parts of them appear. So
mm,
it develops into different stages.
mm,
Mm.
possible. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
accumulated one over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you mentioned just now, okay, hyperventilation. Okay, it's actually
Yes.
yeah, anxiety also. Yeah. Okay. Eating disorder. Okay, eating disorder, right? The weight tend to fluctuate a lot. Yeah, so sometimes the kid suddenly drop, okay, by like two, I mean the weight suddenly drop by 2 kg, 3 kg, and then suddenly go back again. Yeah, so fluctuations in weight. Okay, then also, right, he or she, right, will tend to avoid having meals with people. Okay, because maybe, okay, he or she is afraid that others will judge, okay, will judge, so that's why tend to avoid, okay, eating with others. Okay, so excessive exercise also, okay, is a sign. Okay, when he or she exercises too much, okay, and spending long period of time in the bathroom. Okay, so usually is to do something that, don't want other people to see. For example, like vomiting. Okay, don't want others to see, don't want others to know. Okay, usually they don't want like people to judge lah. That's why. Okay, conduct disorder. Okay, so these are, I've already covered all these. Okay, just now I've talked about
Okay.
like the different. Yep. Okay, so I'll just quickly go through this. Okay, so schizo, right? Schizo, to take note. Okay, the early signs are anxiety, depression. Okay, usually these are undetected. So usually at the start, okay, parents cannot see the difference, cannot differentiate. So because it just looks like, a phase that the teen goes through. Yeah, so that's why parents usually will overlook that part. Okay, bad grades also, changing friends frequently, insomnia, irritability. Usually all these will be we parents tend to attribute, okay, all these, okay, to maybe to like, stress, okay, like pressure, okay, but usually they can't see like it could be signs of schizo. Okay, so lack of concentration also. But okay, the later part, right, like seeing things and hearing things that are not real, right? Yeah, so these start to become more and more obvious already. Okay, so start to develop, become more and more obvious that, the teen is a schizo. Yeah, like seeing
Can I
things.
just share one? Just last month, a parent shared with me. The child is 12, PSLE this year. She's already hearing voices.
Mm,
Yeah, that tells
mm,
her that she's lousy and all these things.
mm, mm,
Yeah, so that has led to some other thoughts to wanting to end her own life and things like that. So it's really good that the mom and the family, I would say family, it's just not one person effort, it's a whole family who took hours of talking and hours of crying and hugging together as a family. And she
mm,
revealed everything, all her thoughts.
mm,
So parents don't expect a conversation in 30 minutes. Huh?
mm,
In 10, 30 minutes, it won't happen. You want the child to open up their hearts to you. It takes a lot of your time and patience, a lot, but
mm.
it's worth it.
Yeah,
Mm, mm.
quite sad at such a young age. P6
But
only.
but then again, I'm very happy
Yeah.
because after
Mm,
I spoke with the mom, I said, could you please talk to your child about these issues, because I was
mm,
guessing,
mm,
why the marks are not matching to
mm,
the child's
mm,
ability,
mm,
right?
mm,
So everybody is worried about their child's result, but we need to
mm,
know that other than aptitude means
mm,
ability to do,
mm,
and
mm.
the child has good attitude, then these two put in place should score quite well lah. But if
Yeah.
not, or if all these things after you have done the checklist and not doing well, then there will be some other external factor already.
Yes.
External factor. So
Yeah.
just now in one of the chat, the parents here in our
Mm,
live
mm,
here, yeah, the
mm,
parents ask, what if the child just stare into space, do nothing? What can the teacher do? And you really really need to spend a lot of time to really investigate to find out what is really the issue.
mm,
One most common one that I've seen in
mm,
this like 20 years over
mm,
years of teaching is that a lot of parents are going through a difficult relationship time, and
mm,
they thought that they just pretend to be normal
mm,
and don't talk about it will help their children to just move on and study. But actually the
mm,
child is aware of the whole family situation.
mm,
It disturbs them and they
mm,
feel very insecure and uneasy. And because it
mm,
is not addressed properly, they do not know
mm,
what is their status. It causes a lot of unnecessary anxiety and every sign that Nicole has shared today.
mm.
Yeah. So parents
Yeah.
don't think that everything must be school related, grades related, friends related. It could be probably just start with like yourself.
Mm,
Yeah, it's painful. The truth hurts, but I'll
mm.
say, yeah, it could be just us because of the way I say, hey, do your work. And they say, mommy is
Yeah.
very naggy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
just us.
Yeah.
Mm,
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing, because you as a, yeah, like yourself as a mom, right? I think you will feel like you have that you'll feel you're more, right? You'll feel like yeah.
Yeah, because we are sharing as moms and what I hear moms and parents are doing,
Mm.
it makes me reflect even more.
Yes.
Of course, I'm not angel lah, I'm not a perfect being that, oh, teacher Faith don't nag. Of course I nag, but we are
Mm.
more mindful of what words come out from our mouths,
Mm.
right? Yeah,
Mm.
your mouth is a very powerful tool. You can actually
Mm.
uplift somebody, or you actually crush somebody right
Yes.
at that instant. So
Yes.
some parents are not mindful. They use words like you are, damn, toot toot toot, and then like, wow, the words are so strong. We don't use such words at
Yeah.
home. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. We'll just say that your actions are very silly, but we never say you are stupid.
Yes.
The action is silly. The child is birthed by you. So if your child is stupid,
Mm.
right? The gene come from you also. So I cannot say my child is stupid, then I'm stupid also. Right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's not say that. We say your actions are silly and I'm very
Mm.
upset with your actions.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Mm.
so so we
So
are
we
very
pinpoint the
mindful.
actions. We do
Yeah.
not like attack the person personally like this.
Yeah. And even in
Like
class too, right? Our students, yeah,
mm.
yeah. Don't say that to your friends. It's not nice. The words you use are not nice. But I still love you as a student as a whole. I still welcome you in my class. I love you as a being.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Mm.
surely we can change the way we speak to our friends, because you don't know
Mm.
whether your friends are going through some anxiety, and then you just
Yes.
blurt out something that kid will have some strange, funny thoughts going through
Yeah.
their minds.
Yeah.
So sometimes the
Mm.
children exhibit certain behaviors is
Mm.
actually a reflection of somebody they're modeling, you know,
Mm. Mm.
right?
Mm.
Right?
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, it could be they see their school teacher like that, then they exhibit such
Mm.
behavior, or they see their parents, both of them quarreling and shouting at each other every day like that, or they
Mm.
throw things at each other every day, throw table, throw chair, you know,
Yeah. Then they think
then
it's okay to be like that.
normal. This is a normal way of exhibiting unpleasantness,
Mm.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
so reflect lah, reflect. Okay, yeah, reflective being. This is a new age of new way of handling our new generation.
Yes.
Different. The
Different
whip and
already.
cane. The whip and cane don't work already.
Yeah.
Nail on
True.
what? Coke cans. Nail on durian shells. All those don't work anymore. Don't work anymore.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Okay,
Mm.
usually, right, okay, okay, the last few points, right, are more serious lah. Okay, so when you spot your teen, right, okay, talking to himself, herself, right, that is obviously like not normal anymore. Like talking all the time, okay, like maybe sometimes it could be in a language that you don't really understand, in some odd language, then in that case, it is a problem. Okay, so bipolar. Okay, when the teen, right, during a manic episode, okay, manic episode, like very high, very happy. Okay, during that episode, right, usually they will talk a lot. Okay, they talk excessively. Okay, and then they start to shift from task to task. Okay, and then it may look a bit like ADHD like that. Okay, so when they are extremely like excited like this, then they will talk and talk and talk all the time, move about everywhere, and then but then again, okay, we are just afraid that during this episode that they would like do some engage in some very risky behavior, okay, that they later on will regret. Okay, so behavior like, for example, okay, take drugs, okay, or like become very sexually active,
Mm,
okay,
mm,
very
mm,
sexually, and then they do things that they later on, okay, will regret. Okay,
mm,
so we are just afraid lah during this period of time that they will like do all these. Okay, so depressive episode, okay, a teen usually show the typical symptoms of depression, okay, during those episodes. So it will alternate one, okay, alternate between these two. Okay, so parents just have to observe. Okay, all right. Okay, very quickly. Okay, prevention. Okay, all right. a child's emotional well-being, right, is actually as important as his or her physical well-being. Okay, so sometimes, okay, we have to teach the child, right, how to cope with stress, okay, and how to cope, how to develop that resilience, okay, so that they can cope with whatever, okay, life throws at them. Okay, we need to teach them all these, okay, so that they can grow into more well-rounded individuals. Okay, so instead of telling them to study, okay, we have to teach them how to cope. All right, so the first thing, okay, okay, we must first ensure that they have a healthy body first. Okay,
Yes.
they must eat a balanced diet, okay, get regular exercise, okay, then must have free time, okay, to play and also to engage in activities they love. Okay, for example, okay, some of them, they like to play sports, or like, actually we should encourage them to go for CCAs. Okay, I know some parents, right, may find it's redundant or something like that. Okay, but we should actually encourage them, okay, to go for CCAs, to do some
Yes.
activities, so that they feel a sense of belonging,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
to a certain group.
Yes.
Okay, and then there they will also meet like-minded individuals who will also, share certain things with them, and then, they become better. All right, so okay, this part is very important. Okay, and also they must have some control over decisions that will affect them.
The keyword is
Yeah,
some, not all.
not all. Yeah, yeah, because I realized that like, I do know lah, like some parents think that, the kids are too young to decide on anything, then they decide everything for the kid. In fact, the kid will tell me, like, really, really, like, I do have students tell me, like, my mom, like, do everything for me already, do all this for me, then but I don't like this thing, I don't like that
Oh
thing, I
my
don't like what.
gosh.
Yeah, but they don't dare to tell the mom. So they just, but they
Oh.
will go out and tell other people. They will tell the teacher. Okay,
Oh
you
my
realize
god.
that actually teachers, sometimes students tell teachers a lot of things one. So they tell teacher, like, my mom do this for me, but I don't like. Yeah, then they will tell the friend also, my mom do da, 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 but I don't like. Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes they keep it to themselves, but they share with other people.
Okay.
So all parents should build very close relationship with the
Relationship with
school
the
teacher.
teachers.
Yeah, with the teachers, because kids like to tell a lot of things to the teacher.
No, best
Yeah,
they come to BlueTree and tell you everything. So come and get to
yeah.
know teacher Nicole, okay? If you want to know more about your child. We can
And
only
that's
help you
quite
take
true.
care of it for 4 years,
Quite
sec 1
true.
to sec 4. After that, you must take care of it yourself, okay?
Yeah. Okay. So they should have some control over certain things, lah. Okay. And then most importantly, okay, the parents should make kids feel loved. Okay, feel that they will be supported no matter what. Okay.
Yes.
And then they have to feel safe. Like they need to feel like it's okay to tell when they have, like, this kind of issue. Like, let's say they are they feel like, for example, okay, some of them, they are just afraid that parents will judge. Okay, so
Yeah.
parents have to be more, like, open-minded. Like, if the kid come and tell you, right, I think I don't know why I feel very unhappy, I feel like I want to kill myself, that kind of thing, then you have to be like, okay.
Yeah, don't say,
Yeah, don't
so,
just like,
so
yeah.
silly. Go and study.
Yeah,
Why think of all these things?
yeah. I think a lot of parents say, so silly, okay, go and study.
Or the other
The
one,
child will be
mommy,
like,
I think I have I want to tell you that I have a boyfriend. Then, they tell you that they have a partner, like they have a boyfriend. Wow, then you
yeah.
just like, huh, what?
Say, oh, go break up. Break up with the boy.
So then that's why they do sneaky things behind your back, right? Embrace
Yeah.
it. Yeah, welcome them to the
Yes.
house.
Come then to the house, cook a meal for the boyfriend.
Yeah, that was what my girlfriend advised me. Yes. Yes. So that's what she did. She welcomed
Wow.
the boy to the house, and then the cook whip up a meal for him. And then the next time round he came, and then
Mm.
the daughter and the boyfriends were actually cooking in the kitchen for the family. So the
Oh,
boy feel very
wow.
welcome in her home. He's always coming by, and yeah, it's
Mm.
like an open concept. So everybody just hangs out together. So he's
I feel that this is a very smart mother.
yes. She said
Very, very smart.
yes. So the
Yeah.
husband was like, "What? You welcome him to the house?"
Mm.
So it's like, so you want my daughter to run out the house? right? Then they'll be hanging out because they need to go find a McDonald's, find a Starbucks, find a somewhere to sit, right, and talk, right, or what, that's worse. Come to the house lah,
so that she can observe all the time, right? She can sit there and look at them all the time.
Just build good
Very
relationship.
smart.
And so see, not a bad move.
Yeah. Okay, lastly, okay, this is a very, very important point. Okay, we have to teach the kids. Okay, we need to help them develop the resilience. Okay, that's a very important point. Okay, so I think a lot of like parents always are too concerned about the grades, too concerned about everything else, but then didn't really teach the child, okay, when something happened, okay, how you should cope with it. Okay, when you feel stressed, how you should manage, okay, the stress. Okay, so I find that this part is very, very important. Okay, it's a life skill. Okay, that sometimes in schools, right, school sometimes we do have campaigns and all that to like teach certain values, but the thing is it has to be practiced at home. Okay, we can't like be with the child like 24/7, so it has to be practiced at home lah. Okay. All right, this sums up everything already. Okay, so parents, if you have if you would like to share more, okay, like about your personal experiences, about like certain things that you want to ask or anything, okay, please drop me an email. Okay, feel free to drop me an email. Okay, I will reply. All right.
She will also answer your math questions.
Answer my
She's a math
you can ask
specialist, by
me.
the way.
You can ask me.
Yeah,
you
or
can ask
join our
me
Facebook group.
any.
Yeah, we have a math secondary Facebook group, so you can join in the group and ask math questions. But if
Ask
you
math.
yeah, so if it's not math related, can also just drop her
Can also
an
ask.
email. Yes,
You have English questions, I can forward also. Forward to relevant parties.
Yeah, I mean, we are teachers. We are all here to help. Our purpose here is to hope that we provide some tips to remind parents, because we're so busy with our own work. We tend to be a bit impatient at times. We have forgotten that times have changed. So yeah, these are just tips and sharing. It may not work for everybody. What you see as those signs may not be exhibited in your child, but they could be exhibited in different forms. So it's just making it very explicitly to you, so that you can be more watchful. It may not be happening to you. It could be your nephew or niece, and you can give advice to your family members who is working with their children on that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for spending the morning with us. I know we have overrun. We always overrun. So because there's just so much to share, our experiences, the people and students that we have worked with. We work with many, many students, and definitely a lot of parents. It's because of the love to help children. That's why we are here today. And that's the existence of BlueTree. It is a place where students actually look forward to coming to class. It's very, very ironic. This is a 7 year, okay? BlueTree has been around for 7 years. And it is a time when you see that actually children are very happy running to our classes for holiday program. You'll be shocked. People walk in and out feeling so excited and happy and looking forward to coming back next week. Pupils get really, really upset when lessons are cancelled next week, and they ask when they can continue lessons with us again. Yeah, it's because this is a place where we make it really safe. We don't judge the kids. We don't scold the kids like how it was like in MOE. We left MOE so that we can create a happier environment at BlueTree, so that the children will just come and open their hearts to the teachers. Many friendships are made in BlueTree itself. Yeah, so within the class, the bonding is strong. I tell you, even the Zoom classes that they attend, the bond is strong. I have one particular class that I had last year, my one and only primary 5 class. They only met each other on Zoom, only on Zoom. Then when they came over this year, P6, some of them came physical, but some of them are still on Zoom. When they met each other face to face, it was really cute. They kind of identify each other through what profile pic they like to put, and they kind of like yeah, there was this close bonding that was built. And then when they move on to secondary school, some of them still remain as friends. Okay, and some of them became schoolmates later on in JC and uni. Yeah. So thank you so much, parents who, to join us today. It means that you are taking a great step to want to help your child as well. Continue this good relationship with our children. Conversation is key. Yeah. Any last note, Nicole?
Uh, uh, I just thank all the parents lah, okay, for coming up here. Yeah, I know like you take a lot of some time, okay, 1 hour plus, okay, out of your. I know some of you are busy, okay, but you still take this morning to come and watch us, watch our live.
It's just that when
So
you first had a
yeah,
baby, right? You spend so much time reading up about pregnancy, how to take care of the baby when it's born.
mm,
You're putting so much effort to protect this little being when it's born. You held their hands when they fall, when they just take their first walk, right? And then now they know how to walk, you don't hold their hand. You can continue to hold their hands, okay? All right? So don't stop. Don't stop there. Continue. You can start today. All right? Today is Friday, right? Oh, tomorrow is weekend. Yeah, find a nice park lah, okay? Yeah, father and son talk. No father, never mind. Mother and son talk. Okay, just find a place where away from home. Then you all can just take a walk and pour your hearts out to each other. Okay, all right. You have a good weekend and a good Friday afternoon. Stay safe, everybody.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.